Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Hold on a minute. I don't want to use that. Let's use our standard parity check intro. Okay, so it's been a few weeks now that I've been removed from watching Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and I don't understand why the hate has been so high with this movie. It's been like really bad, like pre the movie being released and then post the movie being released. And I think the pre hate has actually caused it to be um, not watched at all by a lot of fans. Now, my opinion about the movie will probably be not so um, mimicked by everybody else's thoughts, but oh my god, it is not as bad as you all think. What the hell are you guys on? Seriously? So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is basically Phase Five's first movie. Okay, so being Phase Five's first movie, yeah, you can understand it's going to be a little bit weaker. And that's not a bad thing, considering it's Ant-Man. Ant-Man has kind of bookended certain movies, certain phases even. Um, but essentially, he's not the everyday superhero character that everybody wants to like get behind. And I don't know if Marvel have done that intentionally, but essentially he's the everyman, and that's how they've built him up. And it's not Hank Pym's Ant-Man, it's Scott Lang's Ant-Man. And having Paul Rudd in the role is really good because he's one of those guys that you can just keep watching. And a lot of his movies and a lot of his TV show appearances you will actually enjoy. You remember that guy. It's, oh my god, it's that guy. Do you know what I mean? And essentially, he has done a really good job in getting a non-Spider-Man character over, using a wrestling term. So essentially, he has got Ant-Man, who is probably slightly more believable than certain other characters, but he has this ability to be charming. And this is what plays into the second movie and the third movie, and obviously the first movie. The way we were introduced to him was that he was in a prison and he was just about to get out, and his sole purpose was to make his daughter proud of him. Now we need to carry that thread on. Okay, now in good writing you need to have uh, established a certain trait in a character, and a certain trait in the character that they have actually followed all the way through, not just the first Ant-Man movie, not even just the second Ant-Man movie, but all the way through, even in Endgame, where he goes to find his daughter, and there she is, obviously all grown up because of the blip. But essentially, he is the everyday character. He doesn't really want to be like a superhero. He doesn't mind it. He likes to rub shoulders with the superhero guys, like Captain America. We know he loves Captain America. But here's the thing, like, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania does not need to be like Avengers 2.1, Avengers 5.1, Avengers 6.1, or whatever. It just needs to be an Ant-Man movie. It needs to be self-contained as an Ant-Man movie. Now, there's no reason why Thor can't turn up, or I don't know, um, Hulk turn up, but it doesn't need that. And you would think because um, everything is happening in the quantum realm, nobody would be too phased by it, but apparently some people on the internet are, and I think they are stupid. They are not seeing the woods for the trees. And the reason why I say that is because the whole reason why Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania works is because it's a low level superhero, low level in everybody else's eyes, to be honest with you. He is one of the founding Avengers, but we're not going to go on to that part of his history. All we want to establish based on what the movie or the MCU universe has created is that he's Ant-Man. He was part of the Avengers during Civil War and obviously uh, Infinity War and well, sorry, not Infinity War, but Endgame, and he was pretty much instrumental in that. And I think that way he gets redeemed slightly because they didn't have chance to develop him as a character in Phase One. But as I was trying to get to, he doesn't really need to be. He's just the guy who kind of stumbled upon being the Ant Man, where the original Ant Man, Hank Pym, is now his technically his mentor, and you see that in the movie. You see, you see that he wants his approval, and to some extent, he gets it. And yeah, all he wants to do is live his life. He's enjoying it, and I really love how the movie is bookended by Scott thinking about my life's going good. I did this, I did that, and I helped save the universe or the multiverse even. And that is bookended right at the end of the movie as well. And it's done in such a clever way. But let's go back to the actual movie itself. Okay, so he starts off talking about himself, that everything is going good, life is good. By the way, I haven't watched this movie a second time, so if I miss a few scenes out or put them in the wrong order, I do apologize. But essentially, what we are discussing is how good the movie was as an Ant-Man movie, not as a Phase 5 Kickstarter, not as a MCU mega movie. It's an Ant-Man story first and foremost. And the reason why it's an Ant-Man movie first and foremost is because it's set in the quantum realm, and the good thing is they set it in the quantum realm. How many movies have we seen now where everything is set on Earth? Okay, minus the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. We have seen pretty much most movies set on Earth. So, what do? They explore what they've already been talking about. They've been talking about the quantum realm, and obviously, Janet Van Dyne's character has been stuck in the quantum realm for 30 years. So, we get to explore that. So, Ant Man, being the vessel of the story, essentially allows the story to unfold. He is a major part of it, and towards the end of the movie, excuse me, he is the guy that is fighting to save the universe by himself. No Avengers included, no other Avengers included, should I say, because he is an Avenger. And this is what a lot of the critics don't realize. It doesn't need to be the next big, you know, Nexus event movie, should I say? I don't know if that's even the right term, but essentially, it shouldn't be the next, okay, this is a tentpole. This is the movie that's going to set up everything with all these amazing things going on. It doesn't need all the amazing things going on. It just needs somebody to explain what the quantum realm is, what time travel is, what the multiverse is, and then let you think about what has happened to the villain. And it does that really well. It sets up Scott really well. It sets up Cassie really well. It sets up Kang really well. The only thing it doesn't do is set up uh, Hank Pym, because he's pretty much a background character right now. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I think it's a bad thing. I wish they could do a prequel of Ant-Man and the Wasp with Hank and Janet. That would be so awesome. Even if it was just a TV show, it would be awesome. Just to show like at least one of their adventures, where they are trying to save the world in the 60s. And I think it would create a nice dimension to it all. But coming back to the current movie, okay, so Scott, Cassie are given really, really prominent roles here. And the Wasp, even though she's in the title, I don't even know why they put her in the title. Obviously, she's also a founding member of the Avengers, but we don't really need her to be in the title, to be honest with you. We should, because again, she's been there from day zero, but it's not the same Janet Van Dyne. It is Hope Van Dyne. But anyway, let's backtrack a little. So they didn't give her too much to do, which I know it's a bit sad because the actress is really good, actor or actress. I don't really know what the politically correct term is, but I don't really care. Just as long as somebody knows that it's an actress or an actor, be it male or female. And sometimes you do need to differentiate it because of certain countries and certain languages having a distinct male and female distinction between characters. Otherwise, they won't understand what you're talking about. But yeah, so I wish she did have a bit more to do. But what she did do was really good. I think I really enjoyed seeing her help and rescue Scott. And I think he did need rescuing. And the way it was done was really well. It was tasteful. It wasn't woke or anything like that. There were some woke elements, and I clocked onto them straight away, but they were so subtle that I just didn't bother with them in the end. I didn't care about them. And to some extent, I can put them in a logical box where I think, okay, that makes sense in this particular way. So essentially, what's happening is Scott's written a book. So he's written a book about his adventures with the Avengers, and he speaks to Cassie, and she's kind of cool with him doing all this kind of stuff, and she's obviously still a part of his life, and she's taking a lot of time to be in his life, which is good. And obviously it's good for him because that's what Scott wants. And then what we have is this really cool scene of him just reading out his book, and it's funny. I think it's so well done, and it just brought a smile to my face. And then the car scene where um I can't remember what was discussed, but essentially um Cassie gets arrested, and it's not the first time she's been arrested, and Scott is like really disappointed in her, but he doesn't scold her or anything. uh but we get to learn more about Cassie here. So because her father Scott is a hero to her, has always been a hero before he was even Ant-Man. um she she's grown up thinking, you got to do right by people. So I think she was at a protest where she was getting where she got arrested, and essentially she's fighting for the small person, should I say. I don't know if that's going to be derogatory or if it kind of is a pun on who she was trying to help. But yeah, she was trying to help less needy people. Sorry, more need. I don't know what's the word. Less fortunate people. And Scott is like really shocked by this. Like, what the hell? You've been arrested more than once. And it was good. And I was like, okay, I can see where this is going. And it was good. Like, the whole section of the everything that happened on Earth was really good. I think Cassie being um like somebody who now knows how to create devices and engineering, electrical engineering and stuff like that is good. I originally thought, where the hell has this come from? But it makes total sense if you think about it. She loves her dad. Scott went missing for 5 years, so why doesn't she try and figure out how to rescue him? And obviously she does, or she tries to at least. And what's happening is um like she is so like bent on helping him or finding him that she asks Hank to help him, to help her even, to find him. And this is where her need for solving this problem happens. And he sorry, not he. She decides that, okay, this is the only way I can get my dad back, and that's pretty good. And I can understand it. It is a bit far fetched, I must be honest with you, but I can understand it in the film's logic. I don't need to understand it in my logic or in normal everyday person logic, but I totally understand it from in universe logic. So essentially, what happens is she shows everybody, okay, look, this is what I've created, da 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 da, and suddenly everybody gets sucked into the quantum realm, and the quantum realm is actually really beautiful. It's just so colorful and everything. And oh gosh, I just spilt my drink. So essentially, it's this universe that lives within our own universe, but it's completely minute. Hence, why everybody's tiny there, or they shrink when they get there. But obviously, they are the right height for that universe. Now, Scott's been there once, and Janet's been there once, and it's not the same as we've seen it before. And they all get separated, so they're all in different areas of the quantum realm, and it's just like a feast for the eyes. I understand all the CGI um, naysayers. They don't want it, they don't like it, there needs to be something more original. It is original. This is the thing, you want to be taken to a different place that you've never seen before, regardless of if it's CGI or if it's made with paper mache and glue. It's somewhere different. It's been created for you. The characters that you meet there are different, you know, and that's one thing that Marvel has done well. They've decided to show you a different place, very much like what they did with Doctor Strange, where they had all those Inception style buildings like like fall into each other and merge into each other. That's what you've got with this. Essentially, it's a different universe. you shouldn't be thinking about it as, oh no, this is weird, it's wrong, oh, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It's the quantum realm. It's something that's completely different from what you've experienced before. And I think they've sold that. It doesn't matter if it's all completely CGI. If anything, it helps it. It helps this particular movie be completely CGI. So the guys are all separated. So we have Scott and Cassie in one part of the quantum realm, and we have Hank, Janet, and Hope in a different part. And one of the things that I completely forgot about was the inclusion of Bill Murray in this movie. But when I saw him, I wasn't too sure what to expect. And when he started speaking, I really, really was disappointed. I'll be honest with you. I love Bill Murray. I love his wackiness. And I think it didn't land for me. There were some things that he said that are pretty quotable and are kind of funny, but I don't think he has that gravitas to pull that particular character. I don't even know that character in the comics, to be honest with you. I haven't read an Ant-Man specific comic. Maybe I've read comics where he's been a character in, but never an actual Ant-Man comic itself. So I don't know if this character is a regular or is somebody that needs to be acting the way he was acting, but I don't know. It just seemed like the Grandmaster in Thor Ragnarok. So um, I was kind of disappointed on that. It was nice to see him on screen. Wow, I'll be honest with you. It's really nice to see your heroes on screen. And Bill Murray is definitely one of my heroes if you know anything about me. Yeah, so essentially, the two different parties are trying to figure out what to do, where to go, and how to navigate the quantum realm. And we meet Kang. We've already met Kang in Loki series one, and this is the same Kang as the one in Loki series one. So essentially, he is he who remains. So the guy right at the end of series episode, well, whatever the last episode of Loki is, and w- he's got a noble cause, as did Thanos. It's not that noble, to be honest with you. It just seems like craziness. Just let the multiverse continue the way it is. But we get a bit of backstory on it. We get why Janet is so scared of being in the quantum realm and why she wanted Cassie to turn the machine that she had created off. And, but she's not telling anybody about what happened or what has happened. And it's just ridiculous. It's like, come on, you're putting people in danger. If they knew everything, um, as and when you got there, they would have been a bit more guarded. There must have been like something that you could have told them at least, but no, she didn't. So there was a bit of a weakness there, but again, so the movie can happen. So essentially, everybody remembers Janet from her prior visit. And yeah, it's been apparently a really bad time for everybody in the quantum realm. And Janet was pretty much in league with Kang at the time that she had spent there, even though she tried to stop him from um, time traveling through the multiverse. So I think I don't know, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't really make sense, but if you were traumatized by what you had done, I guess you would want to keep it to yourself. So I can kind of forgive Janet for that. It's just the fact that, these aren't times where you can like leave out important information. So if the rest of the team knew what they had to do or what they had to avoid, it would be a good thing. But I really liked how the scenes with Scott and Cassie were done. I think they were kind of overplayed a little bit where it comes to, oh, Scott is being really overprotected over Cassie, and I can understand it, but I think it was slightly overdone. There were scenes where Cassie was trying to show that, yeah, she can be more than just somebody who's the daughter of, a superhero. And she doesn't even tell him that she's got her own suit and she had brought it with her. And if she had used it at least 20 minutes earlier or 15 minutes earlier, they would have been in a better position. So I don't know why that was done. Obviously, she doesn't want her dad to know, okay, I've been at this for a short period of time. But still, if your life is in danger and you've got a suit that can protect you, why not use it? But apart from those little elements, I think the movie was executed pretty well. The humor in it was actually okay. I realized that they redid a few scenes just to make and just to like alleviate the tone a little, because I think it wasn't as funny as they were expecting. But yeah, so I like the fighting sequence with Ant-Man and Kang. I think I didn't realize that they were going to actually pit them both against each other. And I thought it was just going to be like a team thing. And then when I saw the ants, I thought, okay, the ants are going to do everything for him. But no, it was actually Scott fighting for his life, fighting for his daughter's life. And it was really well done. You could see how beaten up he looks, and it was just really good to see that, Ant-Man in an Ant-Man movie can be the main protagonist in the movie, and he can fight the antagonist, and that's what he was doing. And he wasn't belittled by, somebody that was better than him. He wasn't belittled by being pushed to the side. He wasn't really pushed to the side. If anything, he was front and center. His and his daughter's relationship was front and center. Kang was developed pretty well, and I think he was one of the better elements of the movie. I think Hank was misused. The music was actually pretty decent. Um, Obviously, Janet was more used in this than in the last movie, and Hope wasn't hardly used at all. So I don't know why she had the title, had a name in the title, but obviously they want to include the Wasp in the title since Ant-Man 2. So it leaves a lot of things open. I thought Ant-Man was going to die in this, I'll be honest with you. I was really shitting myself seeing that Ant-Man is going to die, because that's what the rumors were saying, and I didn't want to watch any trailers. And even the trailers kind of made it look like, or made it sound like that he was going to die, and it just didn't seem right to me. But it happened, it was good, and the end of the movie just played off really well. I like the fact that they finished with a scene or some very similar scene to how they were starting. I did really like the "Thank you, Spider Man" in the coffee shop at the start, And yeah, the two post-credit scenes were good. So we understand that the Kang variants are gearing up to basically fight with the whole multiverse, and they're ready for it. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. We'll see where that goes. And then the final post-credit scene is Loki and what's his name? Morpheus? No, I don't know. The character played by, oh God, what's his name? Ben Stiller's best friend. And yeah, that was interesting because they are basically back in time and they are trying to track a Kang down. And it's what's his name? I can't remember. Victor, whatever his face is. But that's going to be interesting for the new Loki series, and I'm going to be looking forward to that because I did actually enjoy the last one. And apart from that, I think this movie did what it needed to do. It just needs to set up um, the multiverse. It needs to set up how the multiverse works. It needs to set up the villain, and I think they did it really well. And we got an Ant-Man movie out of it in the same process. So it was well done. I enjoyed it. I think my brother and sister enjoyed it too. Um, Even though my sister was saying, "Oh, come on, hurry up! I need to get the adverts, like not the adverts, the credits going." But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It might be a bit more high concept for a lot of viewers, but I'm hoping not. So, thanks for watching or listening. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll speak to you next time. Thank you.